I'm based in South Florida, Miami. I have an email and SMS agency. We work primarily with D2C brands. Started the agency in 2018 after about 13 years of selling info products. Did really well with that and just kind of started the agency by accident, really. It was just kind of like but just a crazy set of events that happened, and it led me to start the agency. And yeah, I mean, we've been growing crazy fast. The first 3 years, we doubled each year. Year 4, we were on pace to double, but my business partner, him and his wife had a baby. So he took some time off. We were able to slow things down, and it's just been crazy growth mode since then as well. Yeah, that's kind of what led me to start working with Nick. I noticed the fulfillment side maybe was a little bit too complicated and kind of had a lot of gaps in it, despite doing our best and really working on systems over the years. And as we've grown to different stages, different things broke. And I think that's probably common for most agency owners. You hit like 100,000 a month, everything breaks. You hit another level and everything else breaks. So we went through about 2 or 3 different iterations of systems, onboarding setups, etc. But it just became apparent to me that we really needed an upgrade on the operations and fulfillment side of things, because I'm bringing in clients that I don't think that's necessarily the issue. It was like, what happens after I hand it off to the team? How can we do a better job of retaining clients and fulfillment? The way my mind works is I'm a creative by nature. I went to school for graphic design, so I'm not a very technical, analytic, spreadsheet kind of person. I met Nick just from following him on LinkedIn, and just seeing his content, it was very clear that he had a very deep understanding of the operations side of running an agency. Obviously, he talks about owning agencies, exiting agencies, etc. And that's something that I aspire to do for us. And so for me, it's very important to take advice from people that have done what you want to do. And so there's so many people in the marketplace that kind of tell you, oh yeah, I can do this and that and the other, but they've never done it themselves. And I think when I met Nick and just speaking with Nick, it was very apparent, like, he's actually done it and he's doing it now again. And he's 5 steps ahead of where I'm trying to get to. And so for me, that's somebody that I want to take advice from, that I want to learn from, because they actually have done it, right? That's a huge thing. And then aside from that, he really showed through his content, through speaking with him, that he had a very good grasp of the topic and really was able to pinpoint different areas and stuff like that you need help with. So that's really what drew me in. And then me and my business partner had a conversation with him, and he showed us some stuff, and it really became clear that we were missing that kind of stuff, and missing it was contributing to the problems that I think we were having. I think we finished like the main first project. I think it took maybe a month or 2, was the dashboards, the data architecture, getting all the spreadsheets and data into these formats that he wanted us to have it in, that we just didn't have, from capacity to team capacity, payroll, expenses. We had all these different things already there, but he wanted it in a very specific format. And I think we were obviously lacking on certain things. But and for me, like, I'll be very honest, like I said, I'm much more of a creative person. My partner's more of a technical person. I found myself it was like looking at like Egyptian hieroglyphics on the call sometimes, if I'm being very honest. And that's okay. My business partner, he loves that stuff and he's really good at that stuff. So like, that's why we work really well together. But I knew it was important, and I know it's not something I'm good at, so it's something that we needed to get done. I just went through it, and I think Nick was maybe, I'm not going to say concerned, but he told us, and he told me on a call, like, you guys are doing much better than the typical agencies that I work with. I want to make sure that you guys get a lot of value from this. And it's interesting because literally, like, right after he said that, the next week, through the dashboards that he helped us build, we figured out that we were overstaffed, like, significantly. I think over 10 people. And so my partner really realized that. He handles the strategy and the fulfillment side. It was something I knew internally, like, but I couldn't quantify it with it was just an intuition that I had. Like, I knew I had a feeling we were overstaffed, but this actually showed us, like, in terms of like real metrics, right? So I think we were able to reduce the team definitely over 10 people. I think probably about $25,000 reduction in payroll. And that recently just happened in the last 2 weeks. So just that one thing alone has already more than paid for his services for several months. So that was a huge win right off the bat. Yeah, and so that's the first win. Right now we're going through like a 100-day onboarding process, building that out. And I really feel like that's going to help reduce the churn in the business. And so that's kind of like what we're working on right now. I feel like that's going to be huge for us. It's going to help alleviate a lot of time that the team is spending with clients, because it's going to educate clients more. It's going to help train them better, help them focus on the right things versus the wrong things. And so that'll just have a ripple effect throughout the business and productivity. Yeah, I mean, like right off the bat, just Nick was able to identify like a real, I'm not going to say, I don't know what the right word would be, maybe roadblock or obstacle in the business. And I thought it was acquisition, honestly. I think most agency owners are like, well, I need more calls, I need more sales, but it's a Band-Aid, because like Nick is saying, if you don't have the retention really, really well dialed in, then you're just going to it's a leaky bucket. You're pouring water in the top of the bucket, and then it's just leaking out the bottom of the bucket. And so you're running on a treadmill. You just have to keep filling up the bucket more and more. And so I think from the numbers that Nick analyzed, if we're able to like reduce the churn in half, I think we double the business in top line revenue. So that's a huge lever point. I never even would have thought of that, because I'm so focused on the acquisition, booking more calls and cold emails and getting more leads and all that stuff. But that shouldn't really be my focus. According to the numbers that he analyzed, we're getting enough deals per year. We're just losing deals through the churn aspect. So 100% of my focus right now is on that. It's really given me a lot of clarity that I don't need to work on 20 different things. I just need to get this one area fixed, and the business will grow exponentially, like double in top line revenue. And so it gives you a lot of peace of mind. It's definitely stress reduction, because I'm recognizing I don't need to run 100 miles an hour on the leads and that side of the business. I just need to focus on fixing this part of the business. Without sounding like I'm full of shit, I think every single agency owner should at least have a conversation with him. I know he likes to work with bigger agencies typically, but even if you're just starting your agency out and you've just gotten traction, I really feel like if I would have spoken with him years ago, like when we first started that growth spurt to double, it would have really shortcutted a lot of time and effort and clients that churned and overspending on payroll. Like I'm like cringing just thinking about how much money we spent on payroll over the years that we didn't need, that could have been in my pocket. Like I probably could have bought another house. And so I would say the longer you wait, the more you've got to figure out yourself, and the more time you waste, and obviously the more money you waste. So I would encourage everybody without like hesitation